This is second lecture on civic and community engagement. The topic of today's lecture is foundation of modern society and citizenship. So we discussed citizenship in our previous lecture. In this lecture, let's discuss first the society and then we move on to see what is the foundation of modern society and citizenship. In order to do so, we first need to define society. There is a very famous sociologist who defined society as that the concept of society refers to the people who interact in a defined territory and share a culture. Now, I repeat, the society refers to the people who interact in a defined territory and share a culture. Remember or note that there are four elements in this, or four key points in this particular definition. First, that there are people. Society refers to the people. By people we mean individuals in a collectivity, individuals together. Secondly, society also has interaction. Society involves interaction. That is, these people, they will be interacting. What is the meaning of interaction? Interaction means that there would be some kind of activity taking place between these people. By interaction itself is a combination of two words, inter and action. Inter means between and action means activity. So interaction means activity. So first key concept in the society is people, the second is interaction. The third one is the territory, that these people, they would be interacting in a defined territory. What do you mean by territory? Territory means an area. It could be a geographical area, it could be a virtual area, it could be a region, we can call it a zone as well. So people who interact a defined region, a defined zone, a defined territory, a defined area, that is society. The third or fourth important element in society is the culture. That it's not only the people who interact in a defined territory, rather they develop a culture as well. By culture we mean the way of life which make them distinct from other people who also interact in their own defined territory and they have their own way of life. So it's the culture that distinguishes between this people and that people, one society from another society. So society is the people who interact in a defined territory and share a culture. So four elements, four important points: people, interaction, territory and culture. Now the topic is modern society, the foundation of modern society. When we say modern society, it means there is a society which is not modern. So whenever the word modern in use, it is usually contrasted towards a concept that is called traditional. Modern means forward looking and traditional means, in general sense, it would mean backward looking or something that has not kept up with the time. So there is a society which can be considered modern and there is a society that can be considered traditional. Let's contrast modern society with traditional society. I will be using 6 different criteria to or characteristics of the modern society and contrast it with the traditional society. There would be, the first one is the guiding principle of the modern and traditional society, the social structure of traditional and modern society, the values of traditional and modern society, the division of labor in traditional society and modern society, and the authority pattern in the modern and traditional society, and the knowledge that is produced in traditional society and modern society. Let's contrast these 6 different features of the traditional society to the modern society, because we are talking about the foundation of modern society. The guiding principle in traditional society is the customs. People follow habits, people follow traditions, people follow customs, and those customs, those habits, those traditions, they are handed down through generation, from one generation to the next generation, from previous generation to the current generation. So the guiding principle of the society, how does that particular society work, the traditional society? That is through customs, through traditions, through habits. The modern society, however, its guiding principles are based on rationality. They are based on science and they are based on the belief of progress and change. So modern society will not follow traditions, rather it will follow rationality, it would follow science, it would follow progress and change. There would be very rapid progress, there would be rapid change, there would be new developments in science, there would be new development, new kind of reasoning developed. So modern society, the principle in modern society is not the tradition, not the customs, not the habits, rather it's rationality, science, and the belief in progress and change. The second feature that can be contrasted between the traditional society and modern society is the social structure, or how these two societies are structured together. The traditional society, people have ascribed status. By ascribed status, we mean that their status is determined by birth. So if you are born, by their status is determined not only by birth, rather it's determined by birth, by family, and by gender, and sometimes by age as well. The status is determined by birth, by family, by gender, and by age. So if you have strong kinship ties and clear, there would be strong kinship ties and there would be clear social hierarchy. If you are born in a rich family, you would be rich. If you are born in a, let's say, in a particular kind of family, you would be known by that particular family throughout your life in a traditional society. Your status is determined by your family status, and plus your status is also determined by your gender. It is determined by your gender, your birth, and your family. Usually in traditional society, people cannot change their status. In modern society, however, they are structured very differently. The social status is usually, people's status is achieved status. They do not have ascribed status, mostly they have achieved status, or achieved status dominates the modern society. The status is earned through individual merit, through their education, and through their career. And there is a greater mobility or greater social mobility and a more fluid class-based society, class-based social hierarchy in a modern society. So traditional society would be structured based on, I would say, ascribed status, while modern society would be based or it would be a class-based society. The traditional society could be mostly caste-based society, while traditional could be mostly class-based society.